I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, July the 23rd, brought to you in part by Specialty Risk Insurance. Check out a one-stop shop for all your crop and livestock insurance needs. It's specialtyrisk.ag. Also, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma, expecting a light around about 2,500 here on Tuesday. Going to have 500 to 600 head of calves, most of them weighing from 400 to 600 pounds, and about a quarter of them will be weaned. They're going to have a few fresh roping steers or horn cattle there if you guys are interested in something like that. Also 16 to 1,800 yearlings, be 600 to 700 yearling heifers weighing 700 to 900 pounds, and probably be 800 or more yearling steers weighing 8 to 1050. Most all of those will be sold in load lots. They've got a couple hundred mixed yearlings there. Be some grazing yearlings in the bunches there. And then on the cow offering, they do have a few bred cows and pairs, but most of them will just be older slaughter cows and bulls there. But check out Beaver County Stockyards at DVAuction.com. Feeders push higher again. Now we saw some extra boost there from a bullish cattle on feed report that come out on Friday, and the board reacted to it in the way that it should, and then your cash prices reacted to all those things the way that they should. I mean, almost like makes you think that that fundamentals have something to do with this cattle market, but I still don't trust it. But your board was friendly, especially on live cattle on Monday, and then your feeder prices and your sales on Monday just grabbed another gear, guys. We saw some prices that I haven't seen yet, just keep breaking new prices. We got the results of last week's fed cattle trade in, and it was lower, not a wreck by any means, but it's taken a little breather there for a while. But these feeder cattle are going to remain high and get higher. I've told you we're going to have a bumper crop. The corn looks fantastic out there. We've got tons of hay, and that hay goes into the ration too, is ground hay, and then we got cheap corn. A lot of our other feedstuffs have backed off some, but with cheap feed, we've got cost of gains back under $1 now, and which is always good when you see cost of gains under $1, but especially good when those pounds are worth almost $2. So you can cheapen those cattle up in a big hurry in that way with the cheap feed, which it looks like we're going to have more and more of that going forward. But these cattle are getting high, guys, and they've been high, but it just takes a lot of money to operate. And I was talking with a friend of mine on Monday, and it kind of reminded me to tell you guys a story that this snail mail ain't cutting it no more. You know, the mail, and I was talking to a friend of mine at Joplin Regional Stockyards. He says they sell those cattle on Monday. First thing Tuesday morning, they have all those checks ready to send out, get them to the post office. They don't go out till Tuesday afternoon sometimes, and then at best it's 5 days for a lot of people to get their check. That's ridiculous. And now they've gone up to 73 cents a stamp. And I know everything is getting higher, but you've got to do better than that. That's ridiculous. The way this interest is, it's just costing more than what you can you know, justify to hold that money that many days out. And you can wire the money. Of course, that's a pain. You got to get all the numbers lined up and do different things. But we've got to figure out a better way to send that money from these sale barns to these people that need that money to stop some interest out there. But it's just something that I thought would be interesting to mention there, and I'm sure you guys are sharing the same frustrations with that. It might be worth it to go to the sale barn and pick your check up, guys. But I was also talking with my friend Tonto Cassie. He's a realtor, but he's also an investor and a partner in there at Springfield Livestock Marketing in Springfield, Missouri. He told me a story about helping out over the weekend at the Ozark Empire Fair in Springfield there. It's a regional type fair, but it's big doings there for that part of the country. He said they had the Gold Buckle Gala over the weekend, where they sell all the market animals that did the best through the fair there, or through the stock show. And said it was very good. They sold the champion steer for $45,000. You know, that was a great deal. But on down in the sale, they had a brand new exhibitor pictured right here. It's the first time he'd ever showed anything, and he showed a ham. Yes, they do that in Missouri at the fairs. As he made it with a ham, and he made the sale. His family had recently lost their home in a fire. They'd lost everything they had, and they're currently residing in just a kind of a temporary trailer right there. But folks got together around that fair and got together. It's agriculture type people. They made that ham bring $60,000. It's always the ag people that come out and help the community. We've seen it in our sale barns all the time and around stock shows and things like that. But doesn't that make you feel good that you guys are participating in an industry that gives back to people that really need it? Let's talk about your board to start the week off on Monday. August live cattle futures were up 82 cents at 183.92. October was up $1.12 at 184.60. And your back months on live cattle were up 82 cents to up 135. Pretty nice gains there to start the week. August feeder cattle up 80 cents at 256.40. September was up 72 cents at 256.50. And your back months on feeder cattle up 45 to up 97. I mean, just that cattle board just behaving almost after that bullish cattle on feed report on Friday. Your grains, December corn was down 1/2 cent a bushel, is all at 4.14 1/2. November beans up 4 3/4 cent at 10.73 1/2. And September Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 3/4 of a cent a bushel at 5.72 1/2. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade out of your 5 area feeding region totaled up 57,800. About 10,000 back from the previous week of 67,500, and quite a ways back from the same week a year ago, 74,800 negotiated sales in the 5 area. But in your 5 area feeding region last week, your fat steers and heifers on a live basis sold from 185 to 198. That's pretty widespread there. That price spread was steady to $1 lower than the previous week. Weighted average on live steers 193.67, down 57 cents compared to your previous week's weighted average. So like I said, not a wreck, but we're sure retreating back from those all-time record highs that we saw just a few weeks ago. Dress sales, fat steers and heifers in your 5 area feeding region negotiated were 307 to 318. That was $1 lower. And we lost a lot of ground on your weighted average of dressed steers. 310.04, that was down 256 from the previous week's weighted average. Ouch. As a whole, your Southern Plains sold mostly steady at 188, with a few in Texas up to 188 1/2, and a few in Kansas down to 187, but mostly 188. Northern Plains sales were mostly $2 lower at 196. And dress sales $2 lower at 310. Nationwide, we sold 71,700 negotiated compared to 82,800 the previous week and 86,700 same week a year ago. Of the 71,700, only about 17,000 of those were for the 2 to 4 week delivery, which I still say they'll never make that. They'll call those cattle early. But negotiated grid sales last week totaled 47,800 head. Forward contracts only 12,500 head last week. And formula sales 268,300 head. Of the 4 out of 5 areas that we get information back from, negotiated sales, and that's where the rubber meets the road, guys. Iowa sold 24,500. Nebraska sold 15,900. Kansas sold 9,800. In Texas only 7,700. Box beef cutout values started the week out lower, but not terribly lower. Choice cuts down 39 cents Monday afternoon at 313.44. Selects down 47 cents at 298.33. Slaughter starting out the week on Monday, just 115,000 estimated. That was 3,000 less than the previous week and 8,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Callaway Livestock Video Productions. This is going to be a new venture here with Callaway Livestock Center out of Kingdom City, Missouri. Jack Harrison, since he took the reins of that thing over just by himself, I tell you what, he's been doing a lot of new things. He's been promoting. He's doing a great job, and he's about got everybody else knocked in the head, guys. He's just taken over in central Missouri right there. They're going to have their first video sale at Callaway Livestock Video Sale. It's going to be this Thursday evening at 6 o'clock in the evening, July the 25th, and it's going to be a replacement sale, guys. They're offering about 1,000 head. They're going to be bred heifers and 3 to 5 year old young black fall calving cows with excellent quality, excellent genetics. He wanted me to tell you that these cows will calve top selling summer weaned calves, guys. Some of them just sold here the last week or two out of that same type of herd there and absolutely topped the market. So if you're interested in that, go to Callaway Livestock Video website there. You can go on to DVAuction.com. They're doing it through DVAuction. You can get on to DVAuction.com and access dashboard there through there, and you can view and bid that sale, guys, this Thursday evening, the 25th at 6 o'clock p.m. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction. Late in the day on Monday, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through middle 12 states, was up big. 258.61, up 196. So they were passing. So your real-time index went up after a big day on Monday. Your CME cash feeder cattle index finally caught up and it went down. And then they passed each other. Your real-time index is now in the lead. CME cash feeder cattle index 256.67. Talk about your big sales on Monday. Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City had 4,000 head. Market was steady to $4 higher for the most part. Joplin Regional Stockyards, they got more than they expected. Ended up with 5,300. We're only expecting about 4,300, but about 1,000 more than they thought. Feeders had a heck of a sale in Joplin. Feeder steers steady to $3 higher. Steer calves were 8 to as much as $20 higher. They clipped the pastures. They're looking for something to turn out. They made so much good money on the cattle that they turned out and backgrounded last time. They want to do it again. Heifers, all weights were mostly $3 higher to as much as $10 higher. And some of those 5-weight turnout heifer calves were as much as $20 higher at Joplin Regional Stockyards in Carthage, Missouri. DV Auction broadcaster, you can always check out their sales on DVAuction.com. But your National Beef Wire stick-out sale of the day was Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri. Their feeder sale that they have on Mondays had over 2,000 head there. Check out these prices. These are as a whole, all the cattle put together. But check out this automated marker report through Cattle Market Central. 264 head of 5-weight steers in Kingdom City, Missouri. Average 552 with a weighted average price on all of them of $324.80. You had 398 head of 6-weight steers that averaged $650 on the button. Weighted average price on nearly 400 of them of $306.72. Wow. How about 236 head of 7-weight steers? Callaway Livestock Center averaged 737 at $286.94. Look at some heifers. 230 head of 5-weight heifers averaged 539 at $299.50 as a weighted average, and 172 head of 6-weight heifers averaged 642 at $268.61. Best quote, individual quote that I saw out of Callaway Livestock Center was on some of the Willard Cattle Company's consignment there. 82 steers weighed 672 and bring 314 and a quarter. You think they weren't after them on Mondays? On Monday, how about Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota, another DVAuction broadcaster. 261 steers weighed 987, right at a grand, guys, at 249.50. Very impressive there. How about Faith Livestock Auction in Faith, South Dakota? They had one heck of a sale up there, even on some big feeder steers coming right off the grass. They're just now bringing some of them in. Now, we've seen a lot of grass cattle coming out of Oklahoma and Kansas, but get up in the northern plains, they come off a little bit later, guys, and they got some western South Dakota grass cattle coming off, and man, do they like those. 112 head, weighed 933, bring 261.75. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Monday in your Macrocin No BS top quote for the day come out of Elgin Livestock Sales in Elgin, Nebraska. That's Ted Bauman family there. 70 steers weighed 872 in eastern Nebraska, bring 276 and a quarter. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.